Have you ever wondered how the US president moves with such impeccable security? Imagine a world where every vehicle plays a strategic role. Helicopters fly in tight formations to throw off potential threats, and even secret containers accompany the convoy. This isn't science fiction. It's one of the most elaborate security operations on the planet. In this video, we're taking you behind the scenes to reveal exactly how it all works. The presidential motorcade might look like a parade of high-end vehicles escorting the US president, but it's actually a complex, meticulously planned operation designed to guarantee complete protection, rapid mobility, and absolute confidentiality. Each vehicle in the convoy has a specific role, like instruments in an orchestra that must all play in perfect harmony. At the heart of this operation is the presidential limousine, affectionately known as the Beast. Although the concept dates back to the early 2000s, the latest version, unveiled in September 2018, is a custom Cadillac that represents the pinnacle of automotive security and protection technology. So what makes the Beast so formidable? Here are just a few of its features. Sealed interior. The cabin is completely airtight to shield occupants from chemical attacks. Reinforced tyres, built to endure gunfire and keep rolling. Ultra-thick doors, with doors around 8 inches thick, equipped with electrified handles. Onboard blood supply, always stocked with blood matching the president's type, ready for emergencies. Bulletproof windows, approximately 5 inches thick, capable of withstanding high-caliber impacts. Counter-explosion measures. In extreme situations, the Beast, along with a dedicated electronic countermeasures vehicle, can deploy smoke devices to obscure attackers' vision and lower its heat signature, even against heat-seeking missiles. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. The Beast never travels alone. It's flanked by several other vehicles, each playing a crucial role in ensuring both security and the seamless execution of every trip. In fact, there are often multiple identical Beasts on the road to throw off any potential threat. Intrigued? That's only the beginning. When the motorcade hits the streets, it isn't just the official limousine that matters. Backup limousines, identical in design, paint, and even license plates, are used to obscure exactly which vehicle the president is riding in. This mirror effect maximizes protection by making it nearly impossible for an adversary to single out the real one. These decoy vehicles aren't just for show, they're on standby to replace the primary vehicle at a moment's notice in case of a malfunction or damage. Every vehicle in the convoy undergoes strict maintenance and security checks, with specialized teams of mechanics ready to jump into action. If something goes wrong, Plan B or C or D is already in motion, ensuring the president's safety is never compromised. But identical vehicles are only one part of this hyper-organized setup. The entire motorcade includes units dedicated to electronic countermeasures, escort motorcycles, rapid response teams, and even a dedicated ambulance. So how does all this come together when the president hits the road? Before the president even steps into the limousine, several forward vehicles hit the road to sweep the route, identify potential risks, and block off traffic. These scout vehicles, often motorcycles or specially designated route cars and sweepers, clear the way and ensure there are no unexpected surprises. Next up is the electronic countermeasures vehicle, commonly referred to as the Watchtower. Typically a suburban SUV, this unit detects and neutralizes tech-based threats like remote detonated bombs or hostile drones. It can pick up on suspicious radio signals and in some cases block or disrupt them, essentially acting as a mobile jammer against any dangerous electronics. Following that, the main vehicle, the Beast, and its duplicates form the central cordon of the convoy. Their formation is designed to foil side attacks and provide maximum protection. You might also notice vehicles known as halfbacks, which carry vigilant Secret Service agents ready to respond at a moment's notice. Look for agents peering out from slightly lowered rear windows, ever watchful and sometimes armed for immediate action. Another critical element is the Counter-Assault Team, CAT, trained specifically to confront and repel attacks, while other teams focus on extracting the president from harm's way. In an ambush scenario, the CAT holds the line, ensuring a safe evacuation. Rounding out the convoy are specialized units like the Hazardous Materials Team, equipped to handle chemical, biological, or nuclear threats. and the Roadrunner, a vehicle loaded with satellite and encrypted communication systems that keep the lines open for secure, real-time coordination. Of course, no motorcade would be complete without an ambulance and a rearguard vehicle to block any approaches from behind. And if you think that's all, there's one more almost secret component. Not many people know this, but a top-secret container also accompanies presidential trips. Known as the SCIF, Sensitive Compartmented Information Facility, it functions like a secure vault against espionage, allowing the president and top advisors to discuss ultra-confidential matters without fear of leaks. This mobile SCIF creates a transmission-proof environment, protecting against electronic eavesdropping, signal interception, and other espionage threats. Depending on the situation, it can be set up in a mobile container, repurposed hotel rooms, or even temporary official residences. This ensures that strategic national security decisions can be made on the go, well outside the confines of the White House or the Oval Office. Driving for hours, even in an armoured vehicle, introduces vulnerabilities. That's why for longer trips, whether across the US or overseas, the president turns to faster and more efficient modes of transportation, helicopters and airplanes, each with its own set of rigorous security protocols. For short trips or situations where driving just isn't practical, the president uses Marine One, the radio call sign for any Navy helicopter transporting the president. Typically, models like the VH-3D Sea King or the VH-60N White Hawk are used, operated by the Navy's HMX-1 squadron. Just like with the Beast, the president never flies in a lone helicopter without decoys. Often, as many as 5 identical helicopters fly in formation, rotating positions to confuse any onlookers about which one is actually carrying the president. And this isn't just extra caution, it's an essential measure to thwart targeted attacks. Marine One is loaded with advanced communication systems, missile defense countermeasures, think flare dispensers, and space for Secret Service agents. Most commonly, it shuttles the president between the White House and Andrews Air Force Base, where the presidential plane is stationed. But depending on the urgency, these helicopters can be used for various short-distance routes. And that leads us to the famous, while Marine One designates any helicopter carrying the president, Air Force One is the call sign for any Air Force aircraft in the same role. However, when most people say Air Force One, they're referring to the Boeing VC-25A, a highly customized version of the Boeing 747-200B. In service since the early 90s, this flying palace is equipped with everything the president needs. Cutting-edge communication, advanced encrypted systems ensure uninterrupted contact with military leaders and government authorities. On-board offices and meeting rooms, perfect for briefings and strategic discussions. Presidential suite, a private space for rest on long flights. Press areas, for when journalists are part of the entourage. Medical facilities, equipped with emergency gear and even an onboard doctor. Electronic countermeasures, systems capable of disrupting enemy radars, deflecting threats and evading missile attacks. If you're interested, we have a whole video about Marine One. Click on the card or check the description. If you think that's impressive, there are plans to update Air Force One. The current model has been in service for decades, and the US government has ordered 2 Boeing 747-8I aircraft to replace it, the new VC-25B. However, this project has encountered issues like parts shortages, labour challenges, and widespread delays, pushing operational dates to around 2027 and ballooning costs into the billions. Rest assured, though, the current Air Force One remains fully operational, supported by backup aircraft and alternative models. Plus, there's the fleet of E-4B Night Watch planes, often called the Doomsday planes, which are ready to keep the nation's command centre running in extreme crises, like nuclear wars. The layers of protection extend far beyond just VIP transportation. And of course, if you're interested, we have an entire video about Air Force One and another comparing the main Air Force One models of President Putin, President Trump, and the original model. Click on the card or look for the description. You might be wondering, okay, I get how security works domestically, but what about when the president lands on foreign soil, even in potentially hostile environments? Do they bring all this gear along? The answer is mostly yes. Overseas missions often require the entire presidential motorcade to be airlifted into another country. Massive cargo aircraft like the C-17 Globemaster III or the C-5 Galaxy transport multiple vehicles, including the Beast, its decoys, Secret Service SUVs, and all the communication equipment. This operation demands meticulous planning. Advanced teams travel days ahead to coordinate logistics, secure landing zones, arrange disembarkation, and work with local authorities to ensure tight security. Typically, the moment the president arrives, the full transport setup is already in place. Routes are pre-scouted, and Secret Service agents collaborate with local police to establish roadblocks, secure perimeters, and even set up fuel stops. Depending on the visit's nature, US agents may also join forces with the host nation's special forces for a joint security operation. Still, the US maintains strict control over presidential security. Any lapse by third parties is simply not an option. This extensive security apparatus didn't emerge overnight. US history is filled with assassination attempts on presidents, some infamous, others lesser known. The first recorded attempt dates back to 1835, when someone tried to shoot Andrew Jackson and failed. There have been tragic events too, like the assassinations of Abraham Lincoln, 1865, James A. Garfield, 1881, William McKinley, 1901, and John F. Kennedy, 1963. The most recent attempt that wounded a sitting president occurred with Ronald Reagan in 1981. Since those early days, security has only ramped up. In 2018, there were incidents involving bomb packages sent to figures like Barack Obama and Bill Clinton, and even letters laced with toxic ricin aimed at Donald Trump and military leaders. Thanks to constant vigilance and advanced tracking technology, these attempts were intercepted before any tragedy could occur. This track record shows that while risks persist, the current security model is remarkably effective. And let's not forget the infamous nuclear football, a briefcase that accompanies the president, containing the codes to launch nuclear weapons. Carried by a dedicated military aide who stays close to the president, it's part of extreme protocols that no one hopes to ever use. On every trip, that briefcase is right there, ready to be activated at a moment's notice. What's truly impressive is that these security strategies are never static. They're continually evolving. Daily training, technological updates, and ongoing threat assessments ensure that the president remains secure at all times. The Secret Service, along with other intelligence agencies, constantly analyzes potential vulnerabilities, runs simulated terror scenarios, and revises protocols as needed. Even the vehicles, like the Beast, receive regular upgrades, incorporating lighter, stronger armor, state-of-the-art encrypted communication systems, and anti-drone technology. Presidential aviation is also undergoing modernization. Alongside the future VC-25B Air Force One, discussions are underway about more advanced helicopters to replace aging models like the Sea King. The US Navy has even showcased prototypes such as the VH-92A, based on the Sikorsky S-92 for Marine One. Of course, these innovations can face budget constraints, delivery delays, and even political battles in Congress when costs exceed projections. Despite all these advancements, many questions remain about how the US government will continue to enhance presidential security and what cutting-edge technologies might emerge in the coming years. Could we see autonomous vehicles equipped with artificial intelligence that can predict threats and drive the president without any risk of human error? Or perhaps escort drones patrolling the skies around the motorcade? There's even talk of laser defense systems against portable missiles, systems that might eventually be installed not only on presidential planes, but on helicopters as well. And if global tensions rise, the E-4B Nightwatch aircraft, the so-called doomsday planes, could see even more frequent deployments, ready to assume military command during extreme crises. With every new challenge, innovative solutions follow. So far, these measures have proven effective. After all, no sitting president has been successfully targeted in over 40 years. Yet history teaches us that risks can never be completely eliminated. The strategy relies on constant vigilance, cutting-edge technology, and meticulously honed protocols that demand intensive training and billions of dollars annually. And you might be wondering, what comes after all these investments in security? Will the White House someday unveil a new version of the beast with even more futuristic features? How will presidential travel adapt in an era of rapid geopolitical shifts, technological breakthroughs, and increasingly sophisticated digital threats? One thing's for sure, the Secret Service and all the agencies involved will keep innovating, ensuring that we're always left curious about the incredible logistics working behind the scenes. There's still so much to explore, from the intricacies of presidential travel to the collaborations with foreign forces, and even the behind-the-scenes details of how the president's meals and daily routines are maintained during long trips. Every time the US president leaves Washington, an enormous, well-oiled machine is at work, from gourmet kitchens to state-of-the-art counterintelligence measures. Will we see even more creative systems in the coming years, especially in response to new hybrid and cyber threats? Stay tuned. The surprises may be bigger than we ever imagined. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the secret world of presidential security, hit that like button and drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what surprised you the most. Have questions or curiosities? Leave them below. I might answer yours in the next video. And don't forget to share this video with a friend who's fascinated by behind-the-scenes security, technology, and insider theories. Your support helps me keep creating content like this